Hello everybody, my name is Joshua and I'd like to welcome you back to another episode of Coffee, Cats, and King, where we will discuss books, both new and old. I will share with you pictures of my cats will make you wish they were your cats, and I will drink enough coffee for me and everybody watching. So, this is obviously not my normal setup. I've had a long day, I've had a long week. As I said in my last video, my wife is out of town, and when she's out of town, one, I tend to take on entirely too much work, and two, I just don't take care of myself very well. So I'm super tired, and I think it's like 1 or 2 o'clock when I'm filming this. All that is to say that honestly, I just didn't want to put in the effort to bring all my equipment and stuff outside, bring my books out there in my workshop, all that. So I thought I'd just do it in here where it's nice and cool, and then I can immediately go lay down and take a nap on the couch or something. So the good part of this is that you guys will get live cat footage. Observe. Say hi to the folks. Don't be shy. Say hi. Yeah? Okay. Oh, thank you, buddy. Thank you for kisses. So, as I was saying, the purpose of this video is to give you guys my August TBR. You've seen my wrap-up from last month. It was pretty hefty, and I did not want to put it in that video because, let's be honest, who's going to watch a 35-minute video from Boy? So, I know we're already a week in to the month, but I have picked 10 books here that I would like to get through. I'm not going to tell you guys about the ones that I've already finished because you'll see those in a future video. By the way, this bookshelf back here is my wife's, as is this neat swivel chair that I'm going to have way too much fun with. So, let's get into the books. Okay, those of you who follow me on Goodreads might have seen that I put this book on there. It's Creep Over, Are You Scared? By PJ Knight. And I put this on there, said I was going to start it a couple days ago. So a lot of you are probably wondering, why the heck has he not finished it yet? Well, that is because I got slightly distracted by this next book. But I am going to read that third Creep Over book this month. The book that distracted me is the new Stephen King, which, can we just appreciate the cover for a moment? It's a beautiful cover, I think, gorgeous cover. This part here where it's supposed to be, writing in a page, this has a really neat texture to it. So if you're a texture person, you'll enjoy that. I am only about 100 pages in because, again, I've been super busy and I have not had time to read. But I'm very much enjoying it. And believe me, you guys will hear my thoughts on this book as soon as I finish it. The other books that I wanted to pick up this month, or that I will pick up this month, include 2 Kindle books. One is the third book in that Hook trilogy from Melissa Snark. It is titled Death Wish. And in this case, I believe this one revolves around her getting into some trouble with dwarves. So through the second book, it really started to evolve into its own. It was no longer a Peter Pan retelling. That was really just the first story. There are still characters from the Peter Pan mythos, if you will. But after that, Melissa Snark really started making it her own. So I assume this is how the third book will be. But again, I will let you guys know. The other Kindle book that I want to get to is a book called Super Dark by Tanith Morse. And I'm going to read you the synopsis here. It says, darkness stalks 17-year-old Sam Harper. 10 years ago on Halloween night, grotesque creatures snatched her best friend Elliot, and Sam narrowly escaped with her life. Now, a decade on, the police investigation has ground to a halt, and Elliot's whereabouts remain a mystery. Traumatized by her ordeal, Sam finds it hard to make friends. She is mistrustful of authority and changes schools more times than she cares to remember. To her, the world is cruel and unforgiving. Then she meets the enigmatic Lee Weaver. With his gorgeous face and magnetic presence, he turns heads wherever he goes. Sam has never wanted anyone as much as she wants Lee, but there are things about the alluring stranger that don't add up, leading Sam to ask unsettling questions about her past. Soon she discovers the boy of her dreams is keeping a terrible secret, one that threatens to destroy everything Sam holds dear. So, this is book 1 in yet another series. I got this one for free, and it sounded really interesting. The catch on this is that it is kind of horror, but it is also a paranormal romance, which of course is not normally my style, but I thought I'd give it a go. I have read the first 20 pages at this point, and I will say I am intrigued. So we'll see how it goes. Now, back to the physical books. So the next book that I want to pick up, I got this in a recent haul, and I have not shown you guys the other books from that yet. I will show you that in a later video. But this one I want to jump right into. This is Peter Saxton, The Torturer. And I don't know if you can see the detail on that cover, but it's pretty awesome. The back. For 300 years, the ruins of Castle Delmort echoed with the screams of its dying victims. Feared by the superstitious townspeople, it stood deserted in the Spanish hills until a movie production crew scouting a location took it over. The company ignored the ghastly legend of the castle until the torturer returned. From beyond the grave he worked his evil and began to drive to madness all who ventured into his domain. The Torturer is a chilling novel of a duel between the power of good and the occult terror of black magic. So, this book came out in '66, and if it was not made into a cheesy, awful horror movie, I don't know how it happened, because that's exactly what it sounds like, and I'm super excited for it. Also never heard of it, so if you have read that, let me know what you think down below. Richard, you don't count because you've read everything, okay? But still let me know what you think, because you're an awesome guy. Next book. This one was very kindly sent to me by a subscriber. So, Christine, thank you so much for sending me The Old Willis Place by Mary Downing Hahn. So, yeah, Christine reached out to me. She said, hey, I know you're a fan. Would you like a copy of this book? I said yes. Super excited to jump into it, and I'm going to read it this month. I would like to say that I've read this before, but it would have been 15 years or more back, so I don't really remember it. So I'm really excited to get into this. Mary Downing Hahn, she's an excellent author. She did some great stuff for kids, but it's genuinely spooky for any, for any age group, really. So really excited about that. Definitely going to get into it. I also want to read the second in that Sarah Clancy trilogy that I told you guys about last time. So the second one is Demon's Tide. And I don't know if it leaves off directly where the last one did, but I don't even want to know. I'm not going to read the back. I'm just going to see what Sarah Clancy does with it. Okay, 3 more. So this is a very horror-centric month for me, evidently, which is fine, but I do want to get some other stuff in there. So this is what I'm going to consider my classic for the month. It's not technically a classic, but for us fans, it is. So this is Holes. That's right, Holes. The book. Because the movie is based off a book, and it kind of bothers me that so few people know that. Now, the movie is great, okay? Don't get me wrong. I love that movie. It's It's one of my favorite movies, okay? I can watch it again and again and again and not get tired of it. But there are so few people that know that it's a book, and even fewer people that know that there's actually a follow-up to this book that continues the story of these kids. So, I'm going to read the book this month and tell you guys all about it and hopefully convince some of you to read it. And then I'm going to go find myself a copy of the sequel, read that, and do the exact same thing because more people need to read Holes. This next one, I showed it off last time. This was one of my blind date with a books given to me by my dearest mother. So, this is The Hanging Tree. I don't know anything about the author. I don't know anything about the book. However, I was told by one of you lovely folks, I believe it was Priscilla, told me that this book has been getting really favorable reviews. So, I'm excited to get into it. I don't know how it's going to work for me because obviously I'm not usually one to get into more of the mystery, suspense, thriller type, but I've been branching into that a little more recently, so we'll see how it goes. And then the final book that I want to get to for the month, I'm still trying to slowly work my way through that massive collection of science fiction that I got a while back. So the one for this month is H. Beam Piper's The Cosmic Computer, with its absolutely wonderful cover. If that cover does not make you want to read this book, then, well, it's probably because you're just not into military science fiction, but, yeah, I think it's going to be awesome. I'm going to read you the synopsis for this one because I think that some people would be interested in this book that might not expect to be interested in it. So, it says, Merlin, the magical name that conjured up visions of unlimited knowledge and power. Merlin, the godlike, infallible computer that could mean the salvation of a war-torn human race. But did such a fantastic cybernetic marvel really exist? Was Merlin just another legend of the spaceways, as most people believed? Or was it really hidden somewhere on the colony planet? And if it was found, would it save mankind, or be its destruction? So, sounds really cool, has an awesome cover, really excited for it, and there you go. Quick video this time, hopefully, fingers crossed. That is 10 books that I want to get to. I have already finished a few this month, but you guys will see that later on when I do reviews and such. And now, I'm going to get a sip of coffee, and we are going to go cat hunting. Alright, let's get started. Where are the boys? Where are the boys? By the way, please do not mind the mess. This house is owned by the cats. My wife and I just rent space. So most of what you see on the floor are playing implements for them. Havoc, Chaos, there you boys are. What are you doing? What are you doing, Goober? Hanging out in the gym? Yeah, the boys love to lift weights. Chaos, are you sunbathing? Oh, look at that sweet puppy. Look at you. You're such a good boy. I'm sure you guys have noticed that Chaos is not on these videos quite as often. And that is because, well, poor Chaos had a rough start in life. Havoc did too, but Chaos in particular, and he never really got over it. So he kind of has the kitty version of PTSD and anxiety. So yeah, he gets really upset very easily, and then he runs and hides, and no one can really be around him, you know. So that's why you don't see much video footage of him, and when you do, you just kind of have to take it as a treat, you know. But this guy here, he's an absolute ham, aren't you? I'm hoping they're going to focus on you, because this is a terrible camera angle for me. What have you been doing all day while I was gone? You're not having any wild parties, are you? Oh, well. Typical child. You start with questions and they just walk off, you know? No respect for their elders. What are you doing, buddy? What are you doing? I know, he just wants peace and quiet. I'm not giving it to him. I'm sorry. Chaos. Thank you for being part today. We appreciate it very much. And you have a busy schedule. Guys, I'm gonna end things here. Take a little cat nap with the boys. My next video, as promised, will be another narration of one of my stories. I will talk to you guys soon. Have a great weekend. Cheers.